Jai Hind to all. I'm Updesh Kumar Jaiswal, working as an assistant professor in Computer Science and Engineering Department, Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. Today, I'm going to deliver a lecture on topic computer forensics, which is related to subject cyber security BCC 401. So, it is important to know what is cyber forensics. Cyber forensics is a branch of forensic science which deals with the investigation, analysis techniques on computers. Cyber forensics are also known as computer forensics because it uses the computer system to perform the cyber crime. Cyber forensic involves investigation, collection and preservation of evidence for the legal purpose which are used in the court. Now, digital forensic. Digital forensic is defined as the process of preservation, identification, extraction, and documentation of computer evidence which can be used by the court of law. It is a science of finding evidence from digital media like a computer, mobile phone, server, or network. It provides the forensic team with the best technique and tools to solve the complicated digital related cases. Digital forensics help the forensic team to analyze, inspect, identify, and preserve the digital evidence residing on various types of electronic devices. I have given the example like mobile phone, server, network, computer. Digital forensic science is a branch of forensic science that focuses on the recovery and investigation of material found in digital devices related to cybercrime. Now it is important to understand what is the difference between the cyber forensic and digital forensic. Digital forensic is the big area in which mobile, computer and many other electronic devices are involved. But in case of cyber forensic, we are using only computer and internet. So we can say cyber forensic is the subset of digital forensic. More clearly, we can understand by using this table. Cyber forensic, it includes computer system for the performing the cyber crime. Digital forensic, it includes not only computer but other digital devices for the performing the cyber crime. It involves network, internet in various crimes. It can also work in the absence of internet. It is a very important point that digital forensic can be performed in the absence of internet. Now, steps performed in digital forensic. There are mainly 5 steps: identification of evidence, collection, analysis, documentation, and preservation. These are the steps which are performed one by one in case of digital forensic. Identification of evidence, it includes the identifying evidence related to digital crime in storage media, hardware, operating system, network. Collection, it includes preserving the digital evidence, identifying the first step so that they don't degrade to vanish with time. Analysis, it includes analyzing the collected digital evidence of the committed computer crime in order to trace the criminal and possible path. Documentation, it includes the proper documentation of the whole digital investigation, digital evidence, loopholes of the attack system, etc. Presentation, it includes the presentation of all the digital evidence and documentation in the court in order to provide the digital crime committed and identifying the criminal. Now, what are the branches of digital forensics? Media forensics, cyber forensic, mobile forensic, and software forensics. So, what is the media forensic? It is the branch of digital forensic which includes identification, collection, analysis, and presentation of audio, video, and image evidence during the investigation process. What is the cyber forensic? It is a branch of digital forensic which includes identification, collection, analysis, and presentation of digital evidence during the investigation of a cyber crime. Mobile forensic, it is the branch of digital forensic which includes identification, collection, analysis, and presentation of digital evidence during the investigation of cyber crime. committed through a mobile device like mobile phone, GPS devices, tablet and laptop. And in case of software forensic, collection and analysis, presentation of digital evidence during the investigation of a crime related to software only. Now, example use of digital forensic. In the current era, commercial organization have used digital forensics in following cases. First, intellectual property theft. We can use the digital forensic, industrial espionage, employment disputes, fraud investigation, inappropriate use of internet and email in the workplace, progresses related matters, ban corrupt investigation, issue concerned with the regulatory compliance. So these are the different example of digital forensics. Now, there are some challenges involved in the digital forensic investigation. Firstly, legal issue. Sometimes you will get the order to do this task. Sometimes you cannot find the order to do this task. Nature of digital evidence, alternation of evidence. Sometimes evidence are altered, so it creates the problem. Size and distribution of evidence. Sometimes size should be small or very large, and distribution becomes very difficult. Malicious software present in the evidence, so you can harm my computer if I'm investing with that evidence. Stenography, encryption and compression, these techniques are used, and these are the challenges involving in the digital forensic investigation. So needs of computer forensic. Why computer forensic needed nowadays? To produce evidence in the code that can lead to the punishment of the actual, to ensure the integrity of computer system, to focus on respond to high tech offenses started to intervene. So these are the needs of computer forensic nowadays. Digital evidence in cyber security. Digital evidence refers to any information stored or transmitted in digital form that can be used in a court of law. It includes data from computers, mobile devices, servers, network, IoT devices, and cloud platform. Now, legal consideration involved with the digital evidence is that admissibility evidence must be relevant, authentic, and legally obtained. Chain of custody, documenting who handled the evidence and when, and the compliance law must follow IT Act of India, General Data Protection Regulation GDPR, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability HIPAA, based on the judiciary. Now, types of digital evidence. There are mainly 5 categories: computer based evidence, for example, emails, documentation, browsing history, log files; networks based evidence like packet capture firewalls, firewall logs, intrusion detection system alerts. Third category is the mobile device evidence, call log, SMS, GPS data, application activity. Fourth category is the cloud-based evidence, stored file, access log, transaction records. Fifth is multimedia evidence, images, audio, video files. These are the different types of digital evidences. Now, it is important to understand what are the sources of digital evidence. Hard drives and SSDs, random access memory, that is the volatile memory, USB drives and external storage, cloud storage like Google Drive, OneDrive, social media platform like Facebook, Instagram, etc. System logs that like event logs, access log, email servers. Here I'm showing a pic where digital forensics is performed by the investigation team. Now, tools for digital evidence analysis. There are some automated tools which are present in the market, and we can perform the digital evidence analysis using this tool like disk imaging, file analysis, memory analysis, network monitoring, and mobile forensic. So for the digital imaging, FTK Imager, DD, Clonezilla, file analysis, AutoPsy, Xpage forensics. For the memory analysis, volatility, recall, network monitoring, Wireshark, TCP dump, and for the mobile forensics, Cellbrite, Oxygen forensics suite. So these are the different tools used nowadays. Now, collection and preservation of digital evidence. It determines the device in on or off condition, videograph and photograph the device, note down the device model number and serial number. If any destructive device is suspected, remove the main plug immediately without shutting it down. Investigator must also look for CD, DVD, flash drive, notepads, etc. Pack the collected devices in anti-static bag to prevent any kind of radiation. Place the devices in box or evidence bags and label them. Keep the devices safe and secure from magnets, extreme temperatures, and other damages. Once all the evidence are collected and preserved, it can be sent to laboratory for the further analysis. So these are the collection and preservation of digital evidence. Now, digital forensic life cycle. It includes data collection, then examination, then next step is analysis and reporting. And it flows from the media to data, data to information, data information to evidence. So data converted into the information and finally information converted to evidence. And these cycle is repeated again and again: data collection, examination, analysis, reporting. So these are the digital forensic life cycle. Digital forensic life cycle includes collection, examination, analysis, and reporting. In case of collection, the first step in the forensic process is to identify potential sources of data, acquire data from them. Examination: after data has been collected, the next phase is to examine the data, which involves assessing and extracting the relevant pieces of information from the collected data. This phase may also improve bypassing a mitigating operating system or application feature that obscure data encode, such as data compression, encryption, and access control mechanism. Now, after performing the examination phase, next phase is the analysis. Once the relevant information has been extracted, the analyst should study and analyze the data to draw conclusion from it. The foundation of forensics is using a methodologic approach to reach appropriate conclusion based on the available data or determine that no conclusion can be drawn now. Next is reporting. The process of preparing and presenting the information resulting from the analysis phase. So this is the last step of the digital forensic life cycle. Now, it is very important to understand what is the concept of chain of custody. In terms of cyber security, chain of custody is a accurate documentation of the movement and possession of piece of evidence from the time it is taken into the custody until it is delivered to court. So if I have collected the evidence, it should be reached at court with proper security. So it is important to understand who collected, how and where, who took possession of it, how as it is stored and protected, who look it out storage and why. So these are the important questions, and the answer of these provide the good security while I am transferring the evidence from the evidence storeroom to court. Procedure to perform the chain of custody. In order to assure the authenticity, integrity of the chain of custody, a series of steps must be followed. The first step is the save the original material. Takes photo of the physical evidence. Take a screenshot of the digital evidence. Document date, time, and any other information on the receipt of the evidence. Inject a bit for bit clone of digital evidence content into forensic computer. Perform a hash test analysis to authenticate the working clone. So these are the procedure. Now, what is the importance of maintaining the chain of custody? Why we are maintaining? Why we are performing the chain of custody? It is basically divided into two parts: importance to examiner and importance to court. In case of importance to examiner, to preserve the integrity of the evidence, to prevent the evidence from contamination which can alter the state of the evidence, to show the where possible evidence might lie, where it came from, who created, and the type of equipment used. importance to the court. If not preserved, the evidence submitted in the court might be challenged and ruled inadmissible. Chain of custody process, step by step. The first step is the identification of evidence, recognizing and locating potential digital evidence related to incident, collection and documentation, gathering evidence using forensic tools and recording all relevant details, preservation, ensuring data integrity through imaging, hashing and secure handling. For performing the transfer phase, logging and authorizing all evidence handovers between the individual. Storage, securing evidence in a controlled environment with restricted access. Analysis, examine forensic copies of the evidence by authorized expert. Presentation in court, submitting the evidence and documentation as admissible legal proof. So these are the different steps which are performed during the chain of custody process. Here I have taken an example which is showing the how the chain of custody log is created for digital evidence. The case is USB device recovery in India. Investigation agency is the Cyber Crime Cell, Delhi Police. Case reference number is given here. Types of evidence, USB flash drive 32 GB. Recovery location, Lajpat Nagar, New Delhi. FIR number is given here. Date of recovery is given here, 24th July 2025. Now, in this column, date and time are mentioned. What are the action taken? Suppose on the date 24th July 2025 at 10:30 am, evidence is collected and it is handled by Mr. Ankit. For example, investigation, who is the investigation officer, and remark he has written that 32 GB USB recovered from suspect's laptop bag. At the 11 am, evidence transferred to Mr. Mohan, forensic analysis, handed over for forensic imaging, and at the same day, at the time 12:30 p.m., evidence is stored and is stored by Mr. Rajesh, who is the evidence in charge. And locked evidence room shall be in locker number 4. So these are the different laws created for the storing the digital evidence in case of USB device recovery. How and why forensic is done on social networking sites? We are using different social networking sites like Facebook, Instagram, and many more. So we should identify relevant accounts and platform using OSINet to trace username and public footprints, obtain legal authorization to access non-public or sensitive data while ensuring compliance, preserve volatile content quickly using APIs, screenshot, web archive, and applying hashing to maintain integrity, collect data such as post, message, logs, and metadata using forensic tool like Magnet, correlate timelines and relationships to reconstruct event and associated digital action with real world identities, analyze metadata and user behavior to uncover device links, location patterns, fake profile or coordinated activity, document the chain of custody tool method used to ensure evidence is admissible to the court. Now question is why? To investigate cyber crime like harassment, scams, terrorism, support digital incident response, full regulatory compliance, and provide reliable evidence for legal proceedings. So I have given the answer of question how and why forensic is done in social media websites. So to make this lecture, I have used the following references: the textbook that is the written by Sunit Belapur and Nina Goodbele, and the name of the book is Cyber Security: Understanding Cyber Crimes. And I have used two websites to prepare this lecture, and research paper which I have used, that is the Cyber Threat Landscape Challenge and Future Research Direction, Computer and Society. It was published in 2011, and this paper was written by Chu KKR. And the another paper which I studied to deliver this lecture is a brief study of WannaCry threat, ransomware attack 2070, International Journal of Advanced Research in Computer Science, and it is written by Morales and Portil. So it is all about my today lecture. Thank you and Jai Hind to all of you again.